I'm a racing fan. I will watch pigs race. That's atrocious. That is disgusting. I never want to see that again. I'm fed up, and you should probably turn this off. And that, my friends, is why you never leave a race early, and that's why you never turn a race off before the checkered flag flies. This race was absolutely dominated by Kyle Larson. I mean, I fully expected, I had already started writing my notes actually, and I had put on there just how dominant Kyle Larson was. This guy came out, won the first two stages, led over 200 laps. I think one of the stages he won it by like 8 seconds. I mean, this was not close. This was an absolute dominating performance by Kyle Larson and that number 5 Hemric Motorsports team. Now, what happened at the very end? When he is trying to put Joey Logano a lap down, Joey Logano has every right to try to stay on the lead lap. I get it. Because you never know how one of these races is going to end, and a late caution, you want to be on the lead lap. I get it. Look, I'm the first one to criticize Joey Logano, but it's hard to criticize him in that moment for wanting to stay on the lead lap. Now, let's just think to ourselves here. If Joey Logano had been dominant all day and somebody else had held him up and didn't want to go a lap down, what would Joey Logano's reaction have been after the race? He would have thrown a temper tantrum. He would have walked down to the driver, tried to act all tough, get in their face, wait for someone to separate them, and then act like he wants to throw punches. Speaking of that, I'm going to get to that later. I know everybody wants to know what my thoughts are about what happened in the Busch race on Saturday. We'll get to it. But as of right now, Kyle Larson looks like he has been the most dominant race car driver in the NASCAR Cup Series to start 2021. He absolutely should have had the win in the bag today, but things happen, and Mr. Ryan Blaney breaks through, gets his first win of 2021. That is my championship pick. I'm just saying, he's going to get hot. This is going to be a good season for Ryan Blaney. This is going to be the season where we finally see Ryan Blaney break out. I think we're going to see it with Kyle Larson because I think we're already seeing it. I think he's been good multiple races this year. He's already got a win in the bank. And to be dominant, you can run good, but to be dominant like Kyle Larson was today shows that this team is firing on all cylinders. They are not starting the year off slow. They are going to be dangerous each and every week till we get to Phoenix in November. So, enough about Kyle Larson. Ryan Blaney comes through. He has been running top 5 all day. He started the year with a couple really bad races, and I got on here and I said, hey, we're going to need you to, step it up a little bit. This team can't be running like that. I wasn't really worried yet. I mean, it's March. I'm not worried about, who's starting the year off slow. Not worried about Kevin Harvick. I'm not worried if you start slow, but I do want to see that, you have the speed and you have the ability to turn it up. And this 12 team, the last couple weeks, has absolutely done that. Ryan Blaney is on fire right now, running well each and every week now, and now getting his first win of the season. I don't know if we're going to reach, what happened in 2000. I heard on the telecast today that the year 2000 set the record for 10 different winners in the first 10 races. Well, right now we're at 6. We're over halfway there already. And we've got some big-name guys that haven't been in victory lane yet. So, that being said, we are halfway to that record. Fox says it's going to be the greatest season ever. That would sure be another notch in the belt for that. Now, back to the actual race itself. This track, I love. Let's start here. I love the fact that Atlanta Motor Speedway now has 2 race dates again. I think Atlanta is absolutely an incredible market. It is the capital of the Southeast, if you think about it. This is our biggest city that we have in the Southeast. I absolutely think that Atlanta deserves 2 race dates. That being said, this was a long one. I eat, sleep, and breathe NASCAR, and today I almost slept NASCAR because there were some times where I had to get up and walk around just so I didn't doze off. This was a very, very long race. I didn't look at the actual time that it took, on TV or whatever. It just felt long. There weren't a lot of cautions. It was just a cookie cutter mile-and-a-half race. And I want to see the old Atlanta brought back. Now, some people might not know what the old Atlanta looks like. Go and Google anything pre-1997, I think. Atlanta essentially looked like a giant Bristol. It had long, sweeping corners and short straightaways. And it put on a great show. It was the championship race for many years. I would love to see Atlanta go back to that configuration. Why do we need another quad oval? We've got Texas, we've got Charlotte, Kansas, and some of these other places, Vegas. They're not really quad ovals, they're more tri-ovals, but still, it's the same general shape. Atlanta, the old Atlanta, was something completely different. So let's bring the old Atlanta back. I love the fact that Atlanta has 2 race dates, but we need to work on it. We need the old Atlanta racetrack back, and we need these races to be 400 miles. I'm sorry. There are only a few races throughout the entire season that I think should be 500 miles. Atlanta's not one of them. It did put on a good show today. There was some good racing, but why was this race 500 miles? When we go back to Atlanta later in the year, when is it? I think June or July. It's in the summer. That race is only 400 miles. Thank God. We don't need another 500-mile race at Atlanta. And, we're always learning. We're always, trying to make changes and adjust. This is one I want to see. It's easy. Shorten the race by 100 miles. This race was way too long. I love NASCAR, but calm down. Let's chill, all right? And while you're at it, bring the old layout back. Just something different. We don't need the same track on the schedule 6 or 7 times. Let's have different shapes. Let's have different layouts. Come on. That's my opinion. I want to see something different on the circuit. Now, since I brought up different, you guys know me, and I love to talk about the parity that the NASCAR Cup Series has. Because the number one reason is because this new car, the next-gen car that NASCAR is going to unveil next season, it is going to be, the car that everybody has to drive. Its main purpose is to promote parity. Now, that being said, I think that is unnecessary, and I don't think we need it. I want to point out the parity each and every week that we already have in the Cup Series. I think this new car is a waste of time, it's a waste of money, and it's a waste of resources, and I think it's going to bite NASCAR in the ass. I hope it doesn't. I want to see the sport succeed, but I have a feeling it's not going to do what it was intended to do. So, that being said, since NASCAR doesn't have enough parity, Chris Buescher, what a day for Chris Buescher. Here's a guy, finishes 9th in Stage 1, finishes 8th in Stage 2, and finishes the race 7th today. Now, we saw Chris Buescher run very well a few weeks ago at Homestead. I don't know if they got the same setup. Maybe they brought the same car to Atlanta. I don't know what it is. That 17 car was fast today. 17 car. By the way, Roush Fenway Racing, LeBron James is now a co-owner. I mean, this guy wants to be Michael Jordan so bad. He wears number 23. He's going to be in Space Jam, and now he's a part NASCAR owner. Jeez, I mean, wow. This guy just wants to be Michael Jordan so bad. So, that being said, Chris Buescher was not the only parity today. Stage 2, we had Matt DiBenedetto with a great run, finishing 6th in that stage. Austin Dillon finished Stage 2 in 7th. I mentioned Chris Buescher in 8th. Daniel Suarez with a brand new team, Trackhouse Racing, co-owned by Pitbull. Mr. Worldwide, Mr. 305, coming home with a top 10 in Stage 2, getting their first ever stage points as a team. Congratulations to them. I would love Love to see that team get competitive. You kidding me? Pitbull in victory lane? Come on, it's a party. I just hope Daniel Suarez's first win in that car is at Homestead next year, and Pitbull gets to be in victory lane in Miami. That's all I need in this life, I promise you. Ricky Stenhouse finished stage 2 in 12th. Great runs by all those guys that don't always, they're not always up there. They're not the Hemric, Penske, and Gibbs cars that we're used to seeing up there. Really feels good to be saying Hemric again. And let's go to, when they actually hand out the money. Austin Dillon finished today 6th. Chris Buescher finished 7th. I want to give a shout out to Bubba Wallace. He finished 16th, which, look, it's not the best. I'm sure Michael Jordan wants better than that. But what I told you guys in the preview video, we have to keep our expectations low with this team. This is a brand new team that has completely started from scratch. They have gotten better each and every week. And to come home 16th today, they are on the right track. Bubba did win a truck race at Eldora a few years ago on dirt. We're going to dirt, we're going to Bristol next week on the dirt. We still got Talladega, we still got another Daytona race. This team's going to have its chances to keep getting better throughout the season, but I thought a solid 16th today. There was one time I looked up, I think they were running 12th. Listen, this team is getting better. They're not going to stay down for long, and it's cool to see that team is starting to get better. Alrighty, guys, let's talk about it. Saturday, in the Busch race at Atlanta, there was an incident on pit road where I believe Daniel Hemric had pulled into the pits and was in Noah Gragson's pit stall and had to back up to get back into his pit stall. Noah Gragson, however, couldn't get into his pit stall because Hemric was there. So, Noah Gragson doesn't get into his pit stall cleanly, gets pissed, throws a temper tantrum, backs up into Daniel Hemric while the car is being serviced. And then after the race, while Noah Gragson is being interviewed, Daniel Hemric comes up, pushes him. There are punches thrown. They are swinging. They're getting separated. It was a whole thing. I wasn't watching. I was actually at a local short track. And then all of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up. I had 3 or 4 different friends or friend groups text me saying, "What is this? What happened? Why did this happen? Who's right? Who's wrong? Whose side are you on?" Let's break it down, all right? Daniel Hemric makes a mistake by getting into Noah Gragson's pit stall. Noah Gragson is mad that he cannot cleanly get into his pit stall. I get it. That is the heat of the battle. That is, that it's just one of them deals. It happens. Daniel Hemric is obviously not trying to sabotage Noah Gragson on purpose. It screwed Hemric up too. So he's not going to, be a suicide bomber out here and, take someone else out and mess his own day up too. So Daniel Hemric absolutely meant nothing doing that. That was a mistake. If you're Noah Gragson, obviously you're not going to be happy about it. I don't blame him. I would have been pissed too. That being said, here's where I am not. This is the part that really pissed me off. All right, Noah Gragson, instead of just compartmentalizing and waiting till they get back onto the track or waiting till after the race, this person decides to put his car in reverse, drive straight into Daniel Hemric while his car is being serviced. There is a tire changer on his knees trying to change Daniel Hemric's right front tire. And this spoiled little brat, Noah Gragson, with a bad attitude, comes within a foot away from knocking this guy out with a car. With a car. You do not use a car as a weapon. If you want to use a car as a weapon, make sure it's on the racetrack and you're hitting another car. When there are people, when there are human beings near a race car, you do not use another race car as a weapon. I get it. It is the heat of the battle. I get it. Trust me. When I used to go go-kart racing, I would throw tantrums. I'd get pissed. But I'd never tried to hit somebody with a go-kart. And that thing weighed less than 200 pounds, I think. You're driving a 3,400-pound race car. Pay attention, bud. Pay attention. You cannot get that close to a tire changer and put his life in danger. Now listen, my dad was a tire changer for a little bit. And obviously you can tell I'm taking this pretty personally here. My dad changed tires. My dad worked in NASCAR for 20 years. He painted cars, put decals on them, did this, did that, and he changed tires. He was part of the over-the-wall crew. I don't remember for who, so don't ask me. But he's done it. He almost got killed by Michael Waltrip on pit road somewhere, back before there was a speed limit on pit road. Michael Waltrip came and spun out right in a spot where my dad was standing 5 seconds prior. So yeah, if I sound like I'm a little pissed off about this, I am, because that shit hits close to home. So, for Noah Gragson, this dumbass, Noah Gragson, to not think, to just act, and use his car as a weapon on pit road where there are crew members changing tires, this kid has a lot to learn. And I know the last time we sat here, I talked about how Mike Joy called out all these spoiled rich kids in a tweet. I would love to hear what Mike Joy has to say about this incident. Look, I am all for fighting. I am all for arguing. I am all for being entertaining and putting on a show. But when you start putting people's lives in danger, you have gone too far. Noah Gragson, you better figure this shit out. You are fun to watch. You are very entertaining. But if you keep doing stupid shit like this, you're not going to last long, bud. It's not going to happen. If you had a problem with what Daniel Hemric did, wreck him going into turn 1. Wreck him on the backstretch. Wreck him on the cooldown lap after the race. Or go down there and do what Daniel Hemric did to you. Go fight him one-on-one and make sure it's on camera because we need the entertainment. What you don't do is use a car as a weapon when there are people around. That is so stupid. I can't wrap my head around that. This is like Myles Garrett using a helmet to knock Mason Rudolph out. Instead of just ripping his helmet off and beating his ass, he used a helmet as a weapon and was suspended for the rest of the season. That's assault. That is absolutely assault. What is this? This is a 3,400-pound race car, not a 20-pound helmet. What is this? And now NASCAR is not going to penalize Noah Gragson? Look, I've been very critical of NASCAR for doing too much and penalizing people too much. This is different. When you put people in danger the way Noah Gragson did on Saturday afternoon, that is a problem. NASCAR, I don't know what the right course of action would have been in that scenario. Really, this is on Noah Gragson. You have got to be smarter than that. You absolutely have got to be smarter than that. I get it. You want to be the show. You want to be entertaining. Good for you, bud. But what you don't do is put other people in danger, especially someone that had nothing to do with this situation. That tire changer had nothing to do with Daniel Hemric getting into your pit stall. Daniel Hemric, thank you. Thank you for going down there, pushing him, trying to swing on him, all that. Noah Gragson's got to learn a lesson. If Daniel Hemric's the guy that's going to do it, I'm all for it. All right? We need this in the sport. We need more Daniel Hemrics and less Noah Gragsons. All right? And Noah Gragson, this isn't a one-time deal. Everybody's had problems with him because after the incident, Harrison Burton goes over there and high-fives Daniel Hemric for doing it. What does that tell you? The whole garage doesn't like Noah Gragson. He's gotten into it with his teammates. He's gotten into it with the whole Busch Series. This kid better learn some control, and he better figure it out because he's not going to last very long in this sport. But let's end it on a happy note, everybody. Listen, we've been waiting. Next week, we are going to see, for the first time in, 51 years, whatever it is, the NASCAR Cup Series is going to be racing on dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway. For the first time in 50 years, the Cup cars are going to be on dirt. I absolutely cannot wait for next weekend. I think this is going to be awesome. I think this is going to be must-watch TV. My prediction, 7 races, 7 different winners. My guy, Ricky Stenhouse, he's got a little bit of momentum. Next week is perfect for him to break through and get that win. Ricky Stenhouse, I'm looking at you. Win that race next week and punch your ticket to the playoffs. Look, guys, that's all we got this week. Next week, Bristol, I cannot wait. I'll see y'all then.